All right. So 9:12, it's the Frank Show. Our good friend George Hammel's back. George, good morning. How are you? Oh, well, try it again. Good morning.
Good morning.
What's up, George?
George, this is your, I don't know, what, fourth or fifth visit?
I think so, yeah, 3 or 4.
George has a wonderful, unique story. Let's start at the beginning. Let me guess. It had to have been 81. What year was it?
At the beginning, it was that was quite a while ago. But the story actually pretty much starts in 1998 when I broke my back.
The fact that you're walking is a miracle. So let's just start with that. You broke your back in 98 doing what?
I used to be a professional dirt bike racer.
Right.
And so I raced supercross and motocross. And I took a fall. And it severely broke my back and my legs and a couple other bones.
And this is while you were racing. This story has to have happened while you were racing, not some silly home improvement project.
Yeah, you didn't fall off a ladder or something.
Yeah, so I guess that earns a little bit of coolness points, doesn't it?
What, you were injured while racing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. And it was at my first professional outdoor national is what it's called. So they have 2 different divisions, basically, of motocross racing. They have stuff that you do inside stadiums, like football or baseball stadiums.
Okay.
And that's called Supercross. And they also have the Outdoor National Series, which is, longer tracks, so they get more bumps on them. And that was what I was doing. It was in San Bernardino, California. And I came off the back of the bike and flew through the air. They said it was the equivalent of about jumping out of a 5 to 6-story building and landing on your feet.
No, thank you.
What was there ever video of it?
Yeah, some people said they got video, but I was never able to retrieve it.
Yeah, was it something that was televised where you could go back to it, or?
It was televised, yes, but the time that I had crashed, it was in practice, so they don't televise that.
Gotcha.
So wait, you landed on your feet?
Yeah, it's kind of like, I don't know, the best way that I could describe it when I felt it and when I did it was like, when you're playing Mario Kart and somebody gets squished?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like, because I landed on my feet at an angle. And
so everything got compressed.
Yeah, I broke both of my legs, my tailbone, my back, and then my arms hit the ground and broke my wrist and fractured a little piece of my skull inside my helmet.
What kind of recovery time? I mean, aside from the paralyzation, and you're at one point you were a full quad, is that right?
No, they call my situation incomplete paraplegic.
Gotcha.
What it is basically your spinal cord kind of goes into what they call the horse's tail at the end of it.
Okay.
And so the little nerves kind of go out and feed your legs and different parts of your body. And where I was injured was in the lower back, and it damaged that portion of the spinal cord. So right when I had injured myself, I couldn't move anything below the belt line.
Below the belt, below the waist.
Right. My arms and everything were still okay.
Gotcha.
And a quadriplegic, they can't move their arms.
Yeah. Dude, I had a guy in college on my floor in the dorm who was a rodeo kid, and had an accident, and he could talk, and that was it. If he wanted to move himself, he was breathing into a tube.
Those guys are gnarly, man. So he probably broke his neck.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I count my blessings every day for the situation that I have now.
As many times as we've had you in, you are always racing something different. You're still doing it. And so we're looking close to 20 years since your incident. We're like, 16 years now since your accident?
Yeah, just about. And like you said, for the recovery time, the bones heal, it takes 6 weeks, 8 weeks for the bones to heal. But even to this day, I still do, a lot of stretching and, exercise to make sure that my body stays intact and does well. Because it's a constant maintenance. You just like a car, you got to keep maintaining it, changing all the fluids and all that stuff. And I basically have to do the same thing for my body.
So let me ask you this. With your accident in 98, your recovery, and you're still racing, which I think is amazing.
Right.
The fact that you've got the nerve to step up and get back after such a horrible accident. But how does it affect you psychologically when you're racing? Do you find yourself being more cautious? I would think you'd have to.
Well, I don't find myself being more cautious. My mentality is still the same. I really want to do well, and I really want to be able to compete at a normal level.
Right.
So as long as we prepare the car and set up the car properly where I can drive it good,
Yeah.
then I can race, at the same level as everybody else. I do, however, have to process more information in my brain, because if my legs don't work properly or something doesn't react as fast as a normal person,
Yeah.
then I could either have an accident or I could have an accident with somebody else.
Has that happened before where your brain makes the decision to do a shift change or something, but the reaction time with your brain and body, there's a delay?
I've been pretty lucky. No, I haven't had anything that's like that. The only thing that sometimes happens is my legs aren't strong enough to be able to hold myself against a side load, like when they're
In
doing
a turn or something?
Yeah, kind of like that, where the sides of my legs move back and forth. But
So you're getting hit with a bunch of G-forces in those turns.
yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
I really have to try, and sometimes I'll hold my leg actually with my arm,
Oh,
and then
okay.
hold on to the steering wheel with one arm. But we also have like a pad and stuff that I sit on that holds me into the seat really well.
Ooh, does it have a little donut in it for your balls?
Yeah, actually, it's got a seatbelt that goes right there, and then I have a huge thing that sticks up right between my legs. Actually,
Mine would be huge too, sure.
Yeah, very
Hey,
big.
George Hammel's our guest. So you raced this past weekend. Tell us where, what were you racing, and what happened?
yeah. So we just got done what's called the UTV World Championships, and for people that don't know what a UTV is kind of like a buggy. What we race is called a Polaris Razor.
Okay.
And it has 4 wheels, a roll cage, and a 1,000cc engine. And we run the production class, so it's all stock parts, except for you can, modify the safety stuff. And
What
the
about
suspension.
radio? Can you put a radio in there?
A radio to communicate with people, yes.
No, just for tunes.
Yeah, you don't have like a CD player.
Oh, that's for the Trailmobile, and you have a big cooler in the back too. You can fill it with whatever you want.
Do you know Laughlin's #1 hit station? You want something to listen to while you're racing,
Yeah. Well, we're concentrating pretty hard when we're racing, but we were driving around and listening to other tunes on the other radios.
So, all right. So when do you get to Laughlin this past week? You get up there on Thursday, Friday?
Yeah, I think we went out. Yeah, we got there on Thursday, and we did. Actually, it was pretty fun because all the crew got to do what's called a poker run.
Okay.
And it's just a little fun race. You get to ride the course, and you just go out with a non-race vehicle.
Yeah.
We have a little 4-seater that you can take out. So
Yeah. That's what I want to do.
yeah, you'd have a good time.
I'd
man.
have a blast doing that kind of stuff.
It was so dusty though that we came back and we all looked like we got antiqued.
You're all patinaed. Well, you just you put a handkerchief over your nose. That's what you do, right?
Oh yeah, you can. My dad did. He wore the Evel Knievel helmet with the handkerchief.
Right.
Oh,
He had
perfect.
he had the skull face on. It was pretty sweet.
Nice. The skull face scares me. I see the guys on their bikes with the skull face bandana, and I think, oh man, what is that a guy a punk rocker? Is he with the Misfits? Or
Gang? What's
is he
going
gonna
on?
kill me? I'm scared.
Yeah, at some point he's going to hurt you.
He will. Yeah, that's why he's wearing the skull face handkerchief. So what happens in Laughlin with the racing? How'd you do?
Well, it was a huge event. I couldn't believe how well it turned out, and it was the first annual, so it was kind of neat for everybody to come out.
Any idea how many participants?
I think there was 160 or 170.
Okay, yeah.
So it was big. Yeah, it was really big. They have different divisions, but that was the total. And we did well, but I broke a couple belts. The Polarises are belt driven.
Anytime you say I broke, my ears perk up. It wasn't any parts of your body.
Nope. Luckily, I didn't break any parts of the body. These things are pretty safe.
Some Polaris belts then.
Yeah, so the vehicle, I had to stop and repair the vehicle while I was on course, and I had to do it a couple times, so we lost quite a bit of track position.
Right.
But I still finished the race and persevered.
Nice! I love it.
Thank you.
I would have just given up. I would have just put the belt on and drove off. And
The times I've gone mountain biking, my biggest fear is a flat tire because I don't think I'm going to be able to change that in any timely fashion. And I just imagine myself just putting my bike on my shoulder and trekking back to the car, just crying like a girl.
Because you got to walk the whole
I
way.
gotta walk, yeah.
Well, there is actually a secret for that. There's things called slime that you can put in your tube and they won't go flat.
I know. That's why I got the slime put in there because that was my big fear.
Yep.
Somebody told me that. I go, what? Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, I'm going to get slime in my tires.
When I did the Tour de Tucson and the Ironman, that's what we used in ours because I was too lazy to patch them too.
Yeah. I was looking at my bike yesterday and I've got one of those little packs under my seat and what's in here? I zip it open. It's like a spare tube and, all kinds of CO2 cartridges and stuff I will never use.
Yeah, you look at it and you go, dude, this is just going to sit here and collect dust
all it's going to do.
Yeah.
So good. All right. So is this the first event of a new season of racing for you, George? What's coming up?
Yeah, so actually this is the first event that they had for this particular one. We have coming up in next weekend, actually, this coming weekend, is the first round of the Arizona Lucas Off-Road Regional Series.
Okay.
And so that I'm going to try to contend for a championship in the Production 1000 class in my Polaris Razor.
Say it again, the Lucas Off-Road?
Yeah, it's Lucas Off-Road Regional Series.
Okay.
And
so what kind of vehicles is involved with this?
The one that I'm racing is the same.
Razor.
It's a Polaris Razor.
The Polaris Razor still, yeah.
But they do have other stuff. They got, trucks and little kids, that they have basically like little mini trucks that they race with dirt bike engines in them.
Oh, I bet that's adorable.
Like Hot Wheels on steroids or something? Or?
Yeah, pretty much. And these parents, man, these little cars cost like $50,000.
Aren't they insane?
It's ridiculous.
You know that little track that's right off of I-10 before the what's the Cortero exit? Mm-hmm. It's the little track right there.
Oh, they have the go-kart,
off
isn't
of Frontage Road. Yeah. So I've seen the kids on there before. I've pulled in and had my cameras with me. And these are families from all over the Southwest and parts beyond, I'm sure, that have these trailers with these little go-karts that are all juiced up. They look like F1 cars, and they're 6-year-olds getting in these cars. And all I could think of is, how much money do these people have?
Or where do they get it?
Or where do they get it? That this is their hobby that they spend all their money on.
It's crazy.
And I know that's how you get people started in racing. It seems like a sport that costs even way more than golf to get good at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Golf's an expensive game.
Absolutely.
But racing...
And if you're not a professional driver, NASCAR or F1, you're not going to make any money doing racing.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm very lucky that I have supporters to be able to help me. I still work a day job and Supercuts and Ride Now Power Sports, and I've got a lot of other people that help me financially and with parts and tires and all that stuff. So I couldn't do it without them.
I love the fact that you got sponsors too. That's awesome. You got a couple people in town that are stepping up to give you a hand every once in a while. Do you call up Supercuts and go, "Oh, I got a flat tire and hello, I'm
I need a trim."
Yeah,
it works a little differently than that. We put together a whole yearly package. So
nice. All right. So where's the event this weekend? This upcoming weekend?
It's in Chandler, Arizona. It's at Wild Horse Motorsports Park.
Oh yeah.
So it's pretty close. I think it's only an hour and 20 minutes from here.
Sure.
And I'll bring in some tickets next week. You guys can give some away.
Okay, yeah. All right. Well, so that's this coming weekend.
Yep. So 4 or 5 days now.
Okay.
Yeah, we were giving, because they've got some other stuff going on up there too. We're giving away tickets to.
Yeah, I think they had some, like John Force was up there, drag racing and all that stuff. So it's a big place, man. They got all kinds of racing up there.
Yeah, we talked to that Antron Brown last week.
Have you done any racing up there yet? At Wild Horse Motorsports Park?
I have, yes. Not this year, but yes, I have.
So have you been on their off-road course that you'll be racing on this weekend? Have you done that?
Yeah, it's bitching. That course is awesome.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. Is there any way for a schmuck like me to get on there during the practice sessions like the crew does before the races?
Yeah, you can. There was actually a test day about 4 weeks ago. And during those test days, you can just jump in the passenger seat, or if you get the opportunity, you can drive one of the race cars.
Because, I'm flipping through the channels, and if I don't have it on history, watching Pawn Stars or American Restoration, watching them remaking these cars, counting cars, I'm flipping it over and I'm watching Bitchin' Rides, or I'm watching some other show where they're remaking these cars. And I want to get in. I don't want the danger of possible maiming and taking of life, but I do like the adrenaline rush of speed.
I think you would really actually like this stuff. It's super safe because of the way that they prepare the cars, or we prepare the cars.
You're in a roll cage.
Yeah, you're in a roll cage, and they're super sturdy. So, I've even taken spills at, 60, 65 miles an hour and flipped over, and it's pretty gnarly. The car bounces, 12, 15 feet in the air.
Yeah.
And all it did was ring my bell a little bit.
I love it.
Oh, man, that sounds fun, actually.
I got out, and it was fine.
Because I've flown off snowmobiles before, like hitting a rock that you don't see buried in the snow.
Oh, God.
And you go flying over the end, and it's like, oh, hopefully I don't get my head ran over.
Yeah, I was going to say, what happens when the snowmobile catches up to you?
Oh, it's scary.
Yeah, getting disconnected from the vehicles sucks. These ones, you're just tied in with 5-point harnesses, so...
And then is there also a neck brace to keep you from snapping your head back too? That's important.
Yep. It's like a Hans device. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
I'm very familiar. It's from like 3 weeks ago when I saw the story.
Yeah, it's pretty similar to that. And the racing is exciting, man. I mean, like I was telling everybody the other day, it feels like you're going slow because the tracks are so long. So when you're going down a straightaway, it's kind of like on the highway. You're doing 75 or 80 miles an hour, and you get used to it.
Yeah.
And you just feel like you're cruising.
Doesn't seem that fast.
Then when you approach a corner at 75 or 80 miles an hour and you have to throw it in sideways in a little car like that, it really is a reality check. So that's where the excitement comes in.
Plus, the aside from the obvious racing, the other association that I have with dirt tracks is dirt track condom. You ever see a used condom laying in the dirt at a dirt track?
Not the ones that we do.
I saw one in Kentucky in the early 90s.
Yeah, it's only bareback with George, right?
It's George Hammel. There's a big event going on this weekend up in Chandler. It's at Wild Horse Park Motorsports.
Yep, Wild Horse Motorsports Park.
Wild Horse Motorsports. Is there a website? I'm sure wildhorsemotorsports.com.
Maybe? Yeah, check out georgehammel.com.
That was my next question. I'm sure georgehammel.com's up and going, right?
Yep, we got cool videos, pictures, all kinds of sweet stuff.
George, I love having you in, man. I love your story, and I love what you're doing. So thanks for coming in and giving us an update.
Absolutely. Thank you, Frank. I appreciate you guys having me.
All right. It's 9:26. It's the Frank Show. We'll do the Hollywood Minute when we come back.